He was a delightful young man who was over in Central Oregon on an outing. Was driving back on Highway 97 towards Bend, and a car from the going the other opposite direction went over the center line and hit him square head on in his line of travel. He was injured, but he wasn't at that point permanently injured. The x-rays showed that he actually had a fracture in his thoracic or mid-back vertebrae. But since they weren't paying attention to the x-ray, they went ahead and manipulated him to do other surgeries on his leg, twisting and turning his back and getting that fracture that was in place misaligned, and when they misaligned it, that twisted and caused compression and damage to the spinal cord. What had been originally an auto accident that was quite survivable turned into a catastrophic injury with a spinal cord injury. Left this young man, very promising young engineer, completely paralyzed from the mid-chest down, and still to this day still in a wheelchair.
He was always very active. He couldn't sit in one places. He was always moving, always doing something. It's very hard to see how he's changed now, how he cannot do what he really would like to.
He was going to excel. There was no question about that. He would have continued to cover service in Eastern and Western Europe. Then he would have got much more involved with our operations in both Thailand and Brazil. And he would have been one that I would have called on wherever in the world that we would have a problem.
You can't work on that equipment out of a wheelchair, you just can't. You couldn't even get to that equipment. I mean, he was especially going to do all this stuff overseas in these plants and stuff. There's no way. You wouldn't even be able to, you might be able to see the equipment, but you'd never be able to get within reach to it. And even if you could, you wouldn't be able to do the work.
Through his scholarship fund that he set up, other people from Oregon who have suffered spinal cord injuries have gotten to go to Project Walk and receive the benefits of the training and the therapy programs. Really a very generous thing for him to do.